Hey guys, welcome to College Made Simple, and in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to convert a number from decimal notation to scientific notation by following 3 simple steps. But first, what is scientific notation and why do we need it? Scientific notation is taking very large or very small numbers and transforming them into a number between 1 and 10, which is then multiplied by 10 to either a positive or negative exponent. The purpose of writing a number in scientific notation is to make it easier for us to deal with very large or small numbers. To better illustrate this point, picture a scientist sitting in their room, writing down how many atoms are in your body. Well, the average body has about 7 octillion atoms, so instead of writing 7 octillion with 27 zeros, they would write 7 times 10 to the power of 27. This is just one example, but scientists deal with these types of numbers all day, and writing them in scientific notation saves them a lot of time. Think about all of those zeros they now don't have to write. Now let's see how we can convert numbers to scientific notation by following 3 steps. I'm first going to briefly mention all of the steps and then go through them one by one with an example. The first step is to write down all of the sig figs in the given number and write them as a number between 1 and 10. If you don't know what numbers are considered significant, take a look at the video I made on significant figures, link in the description, and then come back. The next step is to add times 10 after the number. And the final step is to determine the exponent of the 10 and whether it's positive or negative. Now let's walk through all these steps with an example. The number we're going to use will be 6,050,000,000,000. So step number 1 is to write all of the sig figs as a number between 1 and 10, which would give us 6.05. Again, if you're having problems determining the sig figs, check out the video I have on sig figs in the description. Step number 2 is the simplest step. All we have to do is add times 10 to the number that you just wrote. So now we have 6.05 times 10. Finally, step number 3 is to determine the exponent of the 10. This step has 2 parts. The first part is figuring out what the number is, and the second part is determining whether that number is positive or negative. So to determine the number, we count how many spaces you move the decimal to make the number between 1 and 10, and that's going to be your number for the exponent. In our example, we started off with 6,050,000,000,000. So how many places did we move the decimal to get 6.05? We moved the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spaces. So the number in the exponent is 12. For the positive and negative part, if the number you're trying to transform to scientific notation is greater than 0, then your exponent is going to be positive. If it's less than 0, then your exponent will be negative. In our case, the number is greater than 0, so the exponent is positive, leaving our final number written in scientific notation as 6.05 times 10 to the power of 12. So for a quick recap of the 3 steps before I give a couple of practice questions. Step number 1 is write the sig figs as a number between 1 and 10. Step number 2, add times 10. Step number 3 has 2 parts. For the first part, the exponent of the 10 is however many spaces you move the decimal. And for the second part, if the number you're transforming is greater than 0, the exponent is going to be positive. If it's less than 0, it's going to be negative. Here are a couple of practice questions. Write 4,672,000,000 and 0.000000610 in scientific notation. I recommend you pause the video and try to do it on your own, and then come back and see how well you did. Okay, now for the solutions. For number 1, after the first step, you should get 4.672. Then you add times 10, and you move the decimal 3, 6, 9 places, and the number is greater than 0, so the exponent is going to be positive, leaving us with 4.672 times 10 to the power of 9. For the second one, the first step should get you 6.10. Then add times 10, and you move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces. But this time, the number is less than 0, so the exponent is negative, making our final answer 6.10 times 10 to the power of negative 8. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons. If you have any questions or tips for how I can make the videos better, please let me know in the comment section down below. Have a great day, keep learning, and peace out.